This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to Kaieteur Radio. Kevin Smith here with your news at noon. These are the top stories we're tracking. Suriname's oil boss says Guyana should be partner on oil projects to keep watch on costs. EPA says inspection being done to determine whether gas compressor seal needs replacement and driver gets 3 bullets fighting off hijacker. Meanwhile, Nandlal cites doctrine of necessity in Patterson budget challenge case. Stay tuned to stay informed.
This morning, I woke up a millionaire. A digital millionaire. Money here, money there, money everywhere. I'm a digital millionaire. It's our 14th anniversary, and for the next 14 days, we're gonna make one lucky customer a digital millionaire every day. To enter the draw, just purchase any digital Prime bundle or top up with $1,400 or more for a chance to be a millionaire. Plus, every day, 100 lucky customers will receive $1,400 free credit. Buy a Prime bundle or top up now to enter. Digicel, better together.
And now for the news in detail. Considering the significant benefits Suriname has reaped from choosing to be a partner on all oil-producing projects in its offshore basin, Managing Director of Statsoli, Mr. Rudolph Elias, is of the firm conviction that Guyana should give due consideration to adopting a similar approach. Statsoli is Suriname's national oil and gas company. Elias was quick to note that the benefits, particularly as it relates to monitoring costs to be incurred, provide a strong case for countries to have a seat at the table. Elias said that this very reasoning underscores the need to have a national oil company with knowledgeable individuals who can be a partner of choice for oil companies. In other news, EPA Director Sharifa Razak recently revealed that an inspection is being done on the internal mechanical seal on the flash gas compressor with aim of determining whether the defective seal needs to be reseated or replaced. This news comes on the heels of ExxonMobil's increased flaring from pilot levels at their Liza Destiny operations due to the defective seal. She also weighed in that in the event of the seal needing replacement, backup equipment is already in Guyana. And now let's tell you, a taxi driver on Wednesday was shot 3 times in front of his 10-year-old daughter while fighting off a hijacker. Nursing 3 gunshot wounds to his left arm and thigh is 41-year-old Rolvin Maynard of Melanie, East Coast Demerara. Maynard was shot around 16 hours at Kwamina Road, Betavawakting, by a man he picked up. Maynard recounted to police that his daughter was with him in the car. Police are currently hunting the hijacker. And moving on, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal is asking the High Court to decline the request of APNU-AFC parliamentarian David Patterson to find that the budget allocations for constitutional agencies by the National Assembly of September 1st were done contrary to Section 80B2 of the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act. In an affidavit responding to Patterson's claim, Nandlal argued to refuse the orders and declarations being sought by Patterson since it would serve no useful purpose. Nandlal contends that failure to circulate the budget proposals for 23 constitutional agencies is justified by the doctrine of necessity. Patterson complained that the proposals were not made available to his party before September 1st, 2020, and as such, a breach of the act was committed. It is now 12 hours 5 and you're listening to Kaieteur Radio. This is your news at noon. Coming up after the break, a bandit nabbed after robbing Brazilian businessman. Neighbor saves man who was ambushed and stabbed. Meanwhile, traffic congestion and crime prompted road clearing exercise at Vredenhoop. Do stay tuned.
Guyana, please join me on the Glenn Lal Show, 99.1, 99.5, Kaieteur Radio, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 7:20 p.m., and a rebroadcast of the next day at 11 a.m., just in case you missed that program.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. One of the suspects that robbed the Brazilian businessman at his workplace just a few days ago was recently nabbed by the police during a raid exercise. The police were at the time conducting raids in several houses around the Bartica area when the man was apprehended. The suspect has been identified as Damian Hamilton of Victoria, East Coast, Amarara. During the raid, Hamilton was found with $360,000 in cash and 20.4 pennyweight of raw gold in his possession. He was allegedly in the company of 4 other men armed with guns and cutlasses when they robbed 2 Brazilians, owners of a money transfer and gold dealership business. Meanwhile, a Barometer man who was ambushed and stabbed yesterday was able to survive after he was saved by a neighbor. Police identified him as 38-year-old Delon Beard of Cassie Creek, Region 1, and reported that the neighbor was also his relative. Beard was reportedly ambushed by 2 men around 1:20 while walking home. The men, according to investigators, stabbed him twice, once to his back and once to his abdomen, before running away. The injured man somehow garnered enough strength to reach his neighbor's house, who rescued him. Police are currently on the lookout for the suspects. In other news, the numerous complaints of traffic buildup and reports of criminal activities around the Friedenhoop area were the main reasons that prompted both the police and the Regional Democratic Council of Region 3 to conduct a road clearing exercise earlier this week. It is understood that on Tuesday, a total of 6 stalls that were positioned right at the Friedenhoop junction were removed by both the police and officers from the council, with support from vendors. According to a release from the police, these stands were directly impeding the free movement of pedestrians from utilizing the pedestrian walkway that are so designated. And now let's tell you, the police last evening issued a wanted bulletin for 22-year-old Akeem John, called Feynman, of Lot 144, Block F, North Sophia, Georgetown, for escaping from lawful custody. John had been arrested for the illegal possession of a firearm and break-and-enter and larceny. Anyone with information that may lead to the arrest of John is asked to contact the police on telephone numbers 225-6940, 226-1389, 225-8196, 638-8440, 911, or the nearest police station. All information will be treated with the strictest confidence. Meanwhile, a reward for $50,000 cash will be given to anyone with valuable information leading to the capture of 46-year-old Edward Isaac of Hill and School Street, Alboystown, Georgetown. Isaac is wanted by the police for entering the premises of a Nandi Park resident on Tuesday and carting off a number of valuable items. He was reportedly seen committing the act by neighbors. They gave chase, but he managed to escape, damaging a parked vehicle in the process. Anyone with knowledge of his whereabouts can contact Kaieteur News publisher Glenn Lal on 624-6456 or the nearest police station. It is now 12 hours 10. Coming up next is your COVID-19 update. The number of worldwide coronavirus cases, according to Worldometer, has reached 105.4 million, with deaths at 2.2 million and recovery cases at 77 million. The Ministry of Health yesterday reported that 2 more persons have died from the COVID-19, a 54-year-old male from Region 4 and a 73-year-old male from Region 1. The COVID-19 death toll has now increased to 179. The ministry also reported 66 new COVID-19 cases yesterday. This has brought the total case to 7,780. 5 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU, 710 in home isolation, 62 in institutional isolation, and 15 in institutional quarantine. Additionally, a total of 6,826 persons have recovered from the virus, with 64 new recoveries recorded yesterday. The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, is advising persons who were infected with the COVID-19 virus and have recovered to take the vaccine upon their arrival in Guyana. During the COVID-19 update on Wednesday, the minister sought to address concerns about the immunization of persons who were previously infected. He stated that studies have not determined the length of a person's immunity after contracting the virus. Further, he noted that it is still important for those previously infected to be immunized because studies are still ongoing to determine how long a person's immunity lasts after they contract the virus and recover. And coming from CNN, a CDC ensemble forecast predicts there could be more than 530,000 U.S. COVID-19 deaths by February 27th, about one fatality for every minute of the pandemic. The CDC director said increasing data suggests the UK coronavirus variant may be deadlier than the original strand. And COVAX has announced its plan to distribute more than 330 million COVID-19 vaccine doses to developing nations in the first half of the year. Meanwhile, UK scientists have launched the world's first study examining whether different coronavirus vaccines can safely be used for 2-dose regimens, an approach they say could give extra flexibility and even boost protection against COVID-19 if approved. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds